All right, so this is our third part 3 question answer, and let me make a zoom so you can you see clearly now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So this is the last question set of questions which I have it. Let's discuss quickly. Okay, so now see if resource group name RG1 has delete lock. I think this we have already discussed, right? The member of global administrator group can delete RG1. What would be the right answer for this? So the delete lock must be removed before the administrator can delete the RG1, right? That was the same question which we have discussed, correct?
Mhm.
Same question. Okay, let's see the new question. Your company has an Azure environment that contains resources in several regions. A company policy states that administrators must only be allowed to create additional Azure resource in a regions in the country where their office is located. You need to create the Azure resource that must be used to meet the policy requirement. What should you do that? Definitely Azure policies, right?
Yeah.
We'll create in the Azure policies. Okay. I think this you should be able to do that. What would be the answer?
The company plan to move several server to Azure. The company compliance policy state that the server name in server must be on a separate network segment. You are evaluating Azure service can be used to meet the compliance's policy requirement. Which Azure solution should you recommend?
I think a virtual network for the fin server and another virtual network for another fin server because it's a separated, right? It's talking about the
Okay.
two, right? Segmentation, network segmentation. They want to keep. So you can create the two network, separate network for them. Very simple way. Okay. What is the fourth? This question requires that you evaluate the underlying text to determine if it is correct. You have several virtual machine in Azure subscription. Okay, several virtual machine in Azure subscription. You create a new subscription. The virtual machines cannot be moved to the new subscription. Okay, you create a new subscription, but you cannot move it. What would be the answer?
Let's say review the underlying tests.
I think if you create the virtual machine, you can move from one subscription to another subscription. That is possible. So I think the virtual machine can be moved to the new subscription. Anytime you can do that. You are free to do that. As per my understanding, that should be the most appropriate. How about this one? Five. I think you should be able to.
Question requires that you evaluate the underlying test to determine if when you are implementing a software as a service, question you are responsible in high availability. High availability. Okay, the question requires that you when you are implementing a software as you are responsible for configuring high availability rate underlying no changes needed for it. And so when it starts.
So five. I think configuring the size solution.
Configure it. Yeah, configure it.
So we can see the.
So solution, you are responsible for configuring high availability. So then no change is needed, right? Because you said it's already said you are responsible for configuring the
Yeah.
high needed solution, right?
Right. SaaS solution would be most appropriate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about this one?
The network contain an Active Directory forests. Forest contain 5,000 user accounts. Your company plan to migrate all network resources to Azure and decommission the on-premises data center. You need
So your network contains the Active Directory forest, that's the authentication, central authentication mechanism. The forest contains the 5,000 user account. Nothing but is a group and contain the 5,000 user accounts. Your company plan to migrate all network resource to Azure and to decommission the on-premises data center. You need to recommend a solution. Okay. So they want to move to the cloud after the plan. Okay. So what would be the most? So I think what will be, you have to sync or copy. So where is the copy? Is there any copy option? No. So sync all the Active Directory user account to Azure Active Directory. Azure AD. Very simple. You can do this. This is the most appropriate. Okay. Your company your company plan to migrate all its network resources to Azure. You need to start the planning process by exploring Azure. What should you create first? What is the questions? Your company plan to migrate all its network resource to Azure. So if you want to do first, so is what you want to do the first. Definitely you need to create the subscription, right? If you
Yeah.
have a subscription, then only you can do that. As per my understanding, should be C. If you have a subscription, then definitely you can start. It's the first step doing that. Okay, let's talk about 8.
You have an Azure web app. You need to manage the setting of web app from an iPhone. What are two Azure management tools that you may use? Each correct answer present a complex I Azure Portal, Azure Cloud Shell, Windows PowerShell. There is B, right?
Okay, so yeah, correct. The Azure portal. You're right. You have an Azure web app. You need to manage the settings of the web app from an iPhone. What are two Azure management tools that you can use it? Okay, that's you correctly say B. We'll go for B with you strongly.
So
Okay, how about, okay, let's go this.
you plan to migrate a web application to Azure. The web application is accessed by external users. You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative effort you manage the web application. What should you include in your recommendation?
So 8. Okay. You have a, where we were. Okay, see. Okay, 8. 8. You need to select two, right? We need to select the two option. What are the two Azure option? So how do you access? That's how do you access? Hold on. Azure, using the Azure CLI and Azure portal, right? Azure
Okay.
Cloud Shell. Azure.
Oh, so they ask two Azure management tool. That's
Yeah,
they ask two Azure. Okay.
yeah. So this
CLI Azure Cloud Shell.
yeah, that should be the A and C.
Yeah. Okay. Because the Azure, the CLI, that's the command line interface,
Right,
and the Azure Cloud Shell. Okay. Yeah. Because when you access the command line, you need to know what shells you
right,
are working in, right?
right. Now let's see the 9. You plan to migrate the web application to Azure. The web application is accessed by the external user. Web application. See, application is already there. You need to go for the PaaS, platform as a service, right? What do you think? You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative efforts used to manage the web application. What should you include in the recommendation? Should be platform as a service, right?
Yeah.
B. PaaS. What is saying the 10? Your company has several business units. Each business unit requires 20 different Azure resources for daily operations. All the business units require the same types of Azure resource. You need to recommend a solution to automate the creation of the Azure resource. What should you include in the recommendation?
Is that will be is A?
Yeah, that should be, I think, A. Your plan to map a network. You plan to map a network drive from several computers that run Windows 10. So it's a storage related questions. Okay, you need to create a storage solution Azure for the plan map drive. What should you create? A file service in a storage account, right? C. File service in a storage account. See, you have to map all the Windows servers. So network mapping. 12. Your company plans to migrate to Azure. The company has several departments. All the Azure resources used by each department will be managed by department administrators. Okay, so there is an administrative account. You need to recommend a Azure deployment that provides the ability to segment Azure for the departments. The solution must minimize administrative efforts. What should you include in the recommendation? Migrate to the Azure. The company has several departments. So see, there are multiple departments there. So if there is a multiple department, we have discussed about that. You can have a multiple subscription, correct?
Yeah.
You can have a multiple subscription. I think that should be the B. Okay, 13. Go ahead.
What can Azure Information Protection encrypt? That will be the network traffic, right?
What can Azure information protect? Information can protect. Whether is what it will protect. Whether is whether is the your documents or emails, right? Can
Yeah.
protect. These are the services. But what can protect? It can protect, right? Your documents, your emails.
Emails.
So what would be 13B, right? A or B? B can protect this. Okay. 14. Which service provides serverless computing in the Azure? We have discussed
So
about the
Azure
function.
Azure A, right?
Azure function.
Azure function.
Serverless computing. Which service provides serverless computing? Azure function is this one.
Okay.
You plan to provision infrastructure as a service resource in the Azure. Which resource is an example of IaaS? 15. So infrastructure as a service means virtual machine, right? You plan to first, because they will give you the infrastructure, base, everything. You have to manage your virtual machine, right? OS.
Yeah.
That should be the B.
B.
Virtual machine. What is the 16? Okay. A support engineer plans to perform several Azure management tasks by using the Azure CLI. You install the CLI on a computer. You need to tell the support engineer which tools to use to run the CLI. Which tool to use to run the CLI. Okay. Which tool should you instruct the support engineer to use? What are the options is there? Command prompt is there, right? Command prompt I could see one, and Windows PowerShell. These are the prompt, right? Can be used, correct? AC. Okay, go ahead and tell me.
What
17.
is guarantee in Azure service level agreement for virtual machine?
Generally, they will SLA.
guarantee.
They will do the SLA with you. It is called the uptime, right? They will tell you that in the particular regions and Azure services will be available always in the uptime. So agreement will be with uptime, right?
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, that's what. Then this question is being asked in interview also. Okay, last question. You have an Azure virtual network name VNet1 in the resource group name RG1. You assign an Azure policy specifying that virtual networks are not an allowed resource type in RG1. VNet1 is deleted automatically. Okay. So you assign Azure policy specifying the virtual network are not an allowed resource type in RG1. VNet1 is deleted automatically. Okay. What would be the right answer? This question requires that you have you have an Azure virtual network name VNet1 to resource group name RG1. You assign Azure policy specifying the virtual network are not an allowed resource type in the Azure. Not an allowed resource type, little twisted question. Then delete automatically, but still it will continue function normally.
Is it?
Yeah. You have an VNet resource group name. You assign the Azure policy specifying that virtual network are not an allowed resource type in RG1. Not an allowed. Delete automatically. It continue works. Okay. So this is what I have a questions. All the questions we have discussed. Okay. Now next session we will discuss tomorrow to go through the storage and networking sections. Okay. And
Okay.
and we will do the practical maybe 1 hour or 2 hour session we will have it tomorrow.
I will make that I create. I'll get the what is it? The machine.
Yeah, sure. So I will stop this recording. Hold on.